BasicGamer7 and welcome back to another Creative Sim. I know some of these, I haven't had many Creative Sims on my channel as of late, partially because one of the Creative Sim projects that I asked y'all over on Twitter, I'm still sort of working on putting it together and I actually want to have it to a certain point before I start posting the videos. But here is the Birthstone for August, which is Peridot. I think I'm saying that right. So again, once again, I'm getting it out late because I simply lose track of time sometimes when I'm working on stuff, and I'm like, I still got quite a bit of August left. I'm fine. Comes down to like the late 20s, and I'm like, uh oh. So here we are. But finally got it out, and basically, when I first started going to make this sim, I have like a little notebook that has like a lot of my Sims stuff in it that I write for like reminders of myself. So like things that I have planned for the Eevee and Forgotten Families or things that I might try. So it's like basically little notes that I write down. I'm like, well, maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do this. But, you know, none of them are 100% guaranteed, but they're things that I sort of use as guidelines to maybe try to help with stories here and there. And but it's also got like some of my Creative Sim stuff in it. And a long time ago when I first started this series all the way back in January, like coming up with this series, I actually went through and decided like, because some months have multiple birthstones, and also like, you know, deciding names and things like that. So I decided exactly which birthstone I was going to do. I tried to pick like the most common ones or the ones that would be like a little bit more interesting if I had choices for a birthstone, like different multiple birthstones. And then I also decided like which ones were going to be male and which one was going to be female and what their names were going to be, because I was trying to get an even amount of males and females. I can't remember right off the top of my head if I actually did get it 6 and 6 or if it was like 5 and 7. It was either 6 and 6 or 5 and 7. I don't remember which one it was. But I couldn't find that book anywhere because recently my niece came across it, like my youngest niece, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, that's my little notebook that has like stuff in it for my Sims." And she's like, "Oh, is it important?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh." I was like, "Can you please put it back and don't lose it?" And I guess she went to put it back, but I don't know where she put it back at. I have not been able to find it since she had it. So I don't know where it's at. I spent like half a day looking for it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure that August's birthstone was supposed to be a male. I'm pretty sure me and like my coworkers at the time, because I actually still had a job at the time when I was doing all this, just decided on the name Perry. I'm not entirely sure. We may not have, but that's what I went with. Especially since, you know, I don't get to do males too often. I was like, you know what? This is what we're going with. I think that's what it is in my book anyway. So, hopefully I find that very soon, because I actually do really, really need that. A lot of the Eevee and Forgotten storylines that I sort of jot down in there, I've for the most part have memorized, but there are some things in there that I don't have memorized very well. So I hope I find that soon. But anyway, here is Perry, or Peridot, which is August's birthstone. I definitely wanted to go for a slightly different sim than I usually go for. Some of the things that I was sort of trying to keep in mind, because like I saved like things for each of the birthstones that I found, ones that had the most information in it as like a small information, and I also had a picture of the gem itself for color reference. But it was basically saying that the gem itself a lot of times was used to decrease stress, anger, and jealousy. So I didn't, which is hard with the color green, but I didn't want to make this sim seem like any of those things, but jealous and green a lot of times is referenced with each other. But it's also one of the oldest gemstones, and it's apparently was particularly prominent in ancient Egypt, which I found was interesting because I loved ancient Egypt. And though I don't know how it could have been mistaken, but you know, that was a long time ago, so who knows. I've lost a little bit of my history lesson, so I can't remember if they actually found the jewels or if it was just reference from pictures. If it was reference from pictures, maybe I can understand this. But some believe that Cleopatra's emeralds apparently were actually peridot, but are mistaken as emeralds. But though they're both green, they're not a very close green, because Peridot is definitely a very lighter, limey type of green. It's got more yellow in it, which, as you can see, I actually did find quite a few things that actually fit that color. His hair is slightly darker than the actual Peridot color, but it was one of the closest, and I also liked how it really looked on him. And it's a hairstyle that I don't use too often. But I actually really, really liked how he's turned out. He's quite a bit different to a certain degree, at least in my opinion. He's quite a bit different from how my Sims turn out. So I was super happy with it. I hope y'all like it as well. I think the traits, I think I had a hard time getting the traits because the fact that it said that it's used to decrease stress, anger, and jealousy. I knew which traits I didn't want to pick, but I was like, I wish there was traits like calm, patient, like those type of things. So, I was like, if it was those things that was there, it would have been really easy for me to pick something out. But they wasn't there. I think I eventually go with the bro trait and, the outgoing trait, just because, I mean, I feel like this person would, if they, like, get rid of stress and things like that, maybe he actually is getting rid of stress for people. But also I gave the materialistic trait because I give that to all of my gemstones because they are gemstones, they are wealthy type things. But here should be the screenshots coming up soon or already. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you thought of Peridot down in the comments below. All of my Sims 4 playlists will be down in that description, as well as all of my social media, so you can go follow me on there. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!